Good news, the used cars market in the UK is looking positive. Bad news, it might not last for much longer. Let's have a look into what's going on here. So, according to the latest market analysis by Auto Trader, based on the current trajectory, the used car market is expected to perform well in the latter half of 2024, with sales predicted to rise 5% year on year to around 7.6 million transactions. But due to unprecedented shifts in supply demands, retailers will need to adapt to rapidly changing park and forecourt over the next few years. So what's going on here? Well, despite challenging market conditions right now, including the squeeze on supply, particularly among 1 to 5 year old vehicles, which saw around 16% falls over the last 6 months, Auto Trader estimates used car sales are going to increase around 5% year on year in H1, which I believe is in the first half of the year. That's right, yeah. So basically the first half of 2024 is going to see a 5% increase in used car sales compared to the first half of 2023. This was fueled by strong levels of consumer demand, which in June saw the biggest rise on Auto Trader in 15 months. While July up to date is up around 4% year on year, so 4% compared to July 23. This was also reflected in the average of around 84.4 million visits to the Auto Trader website in the month, which is up 9% year on year over that period, as well as the increased pace in which used cars are being sold. So far in July, cars are selling 5 days faster than in July 2023. So a bit like houses not that long ago, people are absolutely snapping up these cars even faster than ever before. So there's no immediate sign of a significant drop-off in demand or consumer confidence either, which in June reached its highest level since 2021 in November. This was boosted by the stable economic backdrop, including the softening of inflation. Auto Trader believes the market is on course to record an additional around 350,000 used car sales this year, representing a rise of 5%, the one that I mentioned earlier on. But the number of sub 5-year-old cars on the road by the end of 2024 is going to be at its lowest since 1995. The current supply complexities are set to deepen, highlighting the huge impact on the shortfall of new cars will be built and sold over the course of the pandemic has on stock flow. This year there will be 28% fewer cars under 5-year-old in the park, as it were, as in like out in the wild, if you will, compared to 2019. So basically, although used car sales are going up, the amount of new cars on the road is falling. So what is actually happening? Why is this happening? Well, if you look at the data on a more granular level, this reveals a side of the loss that has not been spread equally across all manufacturers, with 3 main factors impacting volumes. Firstly, in the 2 main periods of disruption in factory production, some brands were better insulated from plant closures and part shortages, which enabled them to resume or maintain production faster than others did. There was also some brands which saw sales volumes in decline, a trend accelerated by the supply issues and volume not recovered to previous levels. So yeah, some were struggling before the pandemic, and the pandemic just absolutely accelerated that bad boy like no tomorrow. Some brands will have around half the number of sub 5-year cars by the end of 24, including Vauxhall, Ford and Mercedes-Benz, which will have 56%, 54% and 42% respectively. That's a big drop off. A much smaller handful I've seen volumes in this age cohort increase over the period, and those are MGs, Teslas and Kias, around 9% for all of them. So yeah, there is a full article here on the motoringchronicle.com. Like I said, it goes into this far more detail than I can, but yeah. So right now it's looking positive, but there is trouble on the way. There is some sort of, not automotive disaster, but an automotive change on the horizon that's going to come at some unknown point, probably before the end of the year. So yeah, there we go guys, that's that information for you. Like I said, full article in the description as always, and yeah, keep it tuned right here to the motoringchronicle.com to see much more motoring and motorsport news just like this.